Hi there, and what I wanted to show you today is how you can fully monitor the real user digital experience and the network performance to key SaaS or web-based applications directly from your Chromebook. So here's the Kadiska app, and we'll be using two technologies here to really fully understand the user experience of your employees and understand what's actually impacting it. One is the user watcher, which is a real user monitoring that captures all the data, all the transactions, all the activity for all your users inside your company, accessing key applications that you define in the Kadiska application. And this is done through a simple browser extension. And this is an easy element to deploy. So if you were going to add this to your Chromebook, you could either do it through your managed browser administrator who could deploy it through GPO, for example, or you could go to the Chrome extensions. From there, you can simply add that to your browser, and then it will become activated whenever you want to monitor user behavior for specific web URLs. And then you get all the data streaming in here into the platform. So really easy way to see, for example, if application performance is impacted by server, network, the browser itself, or redirections connecting to sites, or your browser waiting for a slot to actually process, which is the case here. So in this case, the red line shows the browser itself is a problem. Now, if we wanted to also understand the network behavior from this machine, and this is very powerful if I want to test from specific locations. Let's say I'm over here and maybe I'm in Malaysia today or Singapore, and then I want to test from those locations directly into a specific target to pick one that applications I'd like to learn more about. So why don't I go here and I'll filter the target down to something like, let's say you're concerned about performance to Dropbox, right? You can pick on that. Here we go. And now you'll see the performance from these two locations, so Thailand, Singapore to Dropbox, and we can learn a lot more about the path itself that it's taking to get there by looking at our net tracers. So you'll see here we have the performance from each of them. Bangkok a little bit slower on latency all the time, but Singapore, we actually had like a huge spike here, even though it's normally very quick. So path length over time, how long it's taking to get there, distribution of the users, and then you'd actually be able to see directly the kind of path that you were taking from either Singapore, Bangkok to Dropbox. And you can see here, much longer path, which probably very much relates to the latency that we're seeing. So there is one hop here in this particular provider, True International, that's causing the latency problem. Okay, so how would you set that up from your Chromebook directly? What we would do here is we actually have an Android app that you can deploy. And with Chromebooks, you can deploy any Android app onto your Chromebook and run it in the background, and it will restart automatically when your machine restarts. So you have a very resilient way to test network performance directly from the end user. And you can deploy that also if you're a Chromebook manager. So how would I access that? Basically here, we're going to the Google Play Store, and this is the one that you would use to install anything onto your Android phone. And you see the behavior here. If I go to Android apps, it brings up the Play Store, same one's on your phone. And here I could search for Kadiska. And if I do that, you'll see I actually have this one already installed, but you could click on this. You can add it to your device here on a Chromebook, and then it would start to trace directly from this Chromebook to those key applications that I'm worried about or interested in knowing the digital experience for my employees. So if we look at that, you'll see it's running in the background, and there's a few settings you can change to change the notifications or not. It's a very lightweight application designed not to consume very much battery life. If I bring up the application, it'll bring it up in the Android application window, and this is resizable, so I can play around with this a little bit if I want to see more. And then I can take a look at some of the key applications just to show that it's working, right? So I can see the path length from my home internet here. I can see the round trip time over the past couple hours and make sure the tests are running properly, so you see confirmation of those occurring. And the rest is all magic. It all happens directly in the platform. That's something you'd go back over here, and you can actually see your Android devices, and your Chromebook will show up as an Android device, and it'll also show you all the tests that were happening from that Android device. You can see directly the tests from these different endpoints. And so we have some Android phones in this location, also have the Chromebook, and you could isolate it down to an individual device if you need to and understand how it's connecting through Wi-Fi, and then its ability to trace through the network like I showed you if you want to get into this kind of level of detail where you want to understand where the path was that might have been impacting your user experience. Okay, so we have the Chrome extension to see everything about the user, their experience, key applications, and we also have the Android application that runs in the background natively on your Chromebook, so you can test the network performance and the path and visualize it from pretty much anywhere your Chromebook travels with you.